everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about a Daily Mail article which is titled 7-year-old non-verbal boy with autism is kicked out of a New Jersey church by the priest for making noise with a ball during his sister's private baptism ceremony. It says a New Jersey family claims they're looking for a new church after their 7-year-old with autism was kicked out of his own sister's baptism. Nikki Domini, who is non-verbal, was playing with a ball at Christ the King Church in Hillside when the priest rounded on him and shouted at him to leave. His family have called priest Luke Dutron's actions rude and disrespectful. They asked for an apology but said he doubled down in defending his actions. Nikki's mother, Julia, says she believes the priest should have been more understanding as it was a private ceremony. The Archdiocese of Newark has issued an apology. A New Jersey mother says she's leaving her childhood church after the priest kicked out her 7-year-old son with autism during his own sister's private baptism ceremony. The Vicente Domini family had a private ceremony Saturday at Christ the King Church in Hillside for their daughter Sophia, but were appalled when the priest Luke Dutron shouted at their non-verbal son Nicky for playing with a ball. The shocking moment young Nicky was forced out of the ceremony by the priest was caught on camera in what should have been a special moment for all the family. The family have sought an apology but say the priest doubled down and defended his actions, saying the young boy was a distraction. The boy's mother, Julia, says she will now be seeking out a new church that is more understanding for people with special needs after she said she repeatedly refused a personal apology from the priest. In the footage from the ceremony, the young boy is seen playing with a ball to the side of the church, being minded by his grandmother, while his parents and sisters stand with the priest in front of the altar. So, yeah, that's kind of the basic detail of the article, what the Daily Mail was saying, and just from that alone makes me think this is a miscommunication and misunderstanding incident. I don't particularly think the priest was meaning to mistreat him and ask him to leave or demand for him to leave. So I think this was just a case of not understanding what autism was and how to best deal with the boy in general. As somebody on the spectrum myself, I feel this was due to lack of autism awareness, lack of training from the church environment. Yes, I agree he shouldn't have raised his voice at the young child, as this would have increased his anxiety and sensory overload. I feel that the boy wouldn't have been coping in the church to begin with because it's an environment which is noisy, it's old, and it's busy, and there's different noises around, so that would have done his sensory issues no good whatsoever anyway. So I feel that this was just something that shouldn't have happened. It was a sad incident to happen. And it says the priest suddenly stops the ceremony and turns around and demands for him to leave. He says, "Take him out for me, out, 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 out." He tells Nikki's grandmother the church is not a place for play. Nikki's parents then try to explain the situation, but eventually continue on with the ceremony and decide to approach the priest again once they are ready to leave. Julia told author Kerry Magoo, who runs the blog Kerry's Autism Journey, that the family generally feel uncomfortable bringing Nicky to church as he doesn't do well with the full mass or the larger crowds. Yet when she discovered the baptism would be a private ceremony, the family believed that he could be involved. So Julie had acknowledged that she should have probably have reminded the priest beforehand that Nicky had autism, but that manner in which threw him out was extremely disrespectful. I agree. Was disrespectful, shouldn't have been done. The way it was done was completely wrong. I agree with you. I agree with the family. I think it's absolutely disgusting the way that the young guy was treated. I have no words how to describe it. My mother-in-law was staying close to our boy while we were front and centre for the baptism. Yes, he was playing with a ball where he probably shouldn't have been. However, the way the priest kicked him out of the church was completely rude and disrespectful. I tried to explain further that Nicky had autism and he simply didn't understand. As the family went to leave, Nicky's father Mark went back to the priest and tried to get an apology for kicking out their son. Mark went in to the priest, he explained that our son had autism and is non-verbal and doesn't simply understand. The priest then began to raise his voice and tell my husband that he should not have been playing in the church, that it was a distraction to stop him performing the baptismal ceremony. My husband told him that he thought of a priest of all people who would be more sympathetic and understanding to a child with special needs. This was completely unprofessional and ruined our celebration. He told him our family deserved an apology. The priest then came outside to speak to our family, but instead of coming to apologise, he began to justify the reason he kicked out our child, saying again that he was just a distraction. Julia added that this is the third time that she's had a baptism at the church she has attended since she was a child, but this is the first ever negative experience she had there. She continued to say that she regrets not walking out immediately when the incident had happened, and said that she would be reporting the priest to the archdiocese. He needs to be more sensitive and respectful in addressing a child, especially one with special needs. We are our child's advocate. This behaviour is completely unacceptable. Our biggest regret is not walking out in that moment. I think this is why we are weighing so heavily on me till the next day. The Archdiocese of Newark has since issued an apology to the family and said that he and the priest acknowledges and regrets the mistake that was made. On behalf of the parish and the Archdiocese of Newark, we offer the family our heartfelt apologies for the abrupt behaviour demonstrated by one of our pastors during a private family ceremony, read the statement obtained by ABC7NY. The pastor was unaware that the sibling playing in a nearby candle room had autism. The pastor did not understand the child's behaviour. He felt totally unprepared and how to respond appropriately, and his reaction to the situation was not pastoral. He acknowledges his now regretful for the mistake. Our Archdiocesan Office for Pastoral Ministry for Persons with Disabilities is in touch with the family to support healing and moving forward together, and we are working with all to come to a pastoral resolution to ensure that there's greater awareness and working with individuals with disabilities and their families. The family, however, have said that they are still waiting for a personal apology for the upset that was caused. I intend to withdraw my friendship and find a church that's more accommodating to children with special needs, the mother has said. So I'm happy that the church has apologised. I'm happy that they've offered to work with the family and try to put things right with them, but at the same time, this shouldn't have happened. It's something that was a mistake. It's something that they clearly had no training about. So what I think could be done to make it better is to have someone like me or someone locally with autism who's an adult, or even a family member of this little boy could have gone in there and arranged training with them. So next time, if they face a situation like this, where it's a female child or even an adult with autism getting chucked out, then it would make it more understandable and hopefully not even make this situation happen again, because obviously this could be a situation happens down the road, or it could happen at another church, or it could happen at another social occasion. So for me, it's all about training and education. It's about finding people who are willing to train them and sit down with them and say, okay, this is how we can deal with it. This is how we can work together. These are the strategies we can use. These are sensory toys we can use, and we can try and make it more easier for them. So when they next deal with an autistic person, an autistic adult, it would make their time at the church more bearable. And also for other families who have autistic children, this shouldn't put off families going to church or mass or any other religious form of ceremony. So I hope you agree with me, or if you disagree with me, let me know down in the comments below. I'll also link the article in my video description below. And thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll be back next time. Bye!